Over the past 20 years, there have been a growing number of deaths amongst children as a result of developing heat stroke whilst inside of a vehicle. Since 1998, there have been well over 700 deaths, with an average of 37 children dying each year. More than half of these fatalities are under the age of 2, but cases have been recorded for children as old as 14. On a hot day, the temperature of a car can reach as high as 125 degrees. About 80% of that temperature increase occurs within only 10 minutes. It may seem logical, but parking in the shade and opening windows does not reduce or slow down the rising temperature. There have been instances where children have died from heat stroke in temperatures as low as 60 degrees. This is because a child's body overheats almost 3 to 5 times faster than an adult's, and similarly, pets as well as the elderly are also at high risk. It is the result of the greenhouse effect that causes the temperature of a car to rise so dramatically. Energy from the sun passes through the windshield and is partially absorbed by the interior. This raises the temperature, which is then continually amplified by the heat waves that cannot escape. As we've established, a car in the sun can reach over 100 degrees in only 10 minutes. It is at this point that the human body begins to buckle under the heat and become lethargic. In a hot environment, the body naturally regulates temperature and attempts to cool itself down, but this additional strain causes the heart rate to increase and can lead to a person being overcome by nausea. Dehydration takes hold and there is now a risk of seizures as well as a loss of consciousness. As the heart struggles to supply blood to vital organs, the body begins to shut down. The result of this is a decoloration and breakdown of tissue, a process known as skin slippage, a feature of decomposition that occurs after death. All of this can happen in under half an hour. In the 1990s, legislation was passed requiring children to be in the back seat of a car. This was to tackle the number of fatalities being caused by airbags that are designed for adults. The number of airbag deaths has since been reduced to almost zero, but child heat stroke deaths have risen in direct comparison. The unforeseen result of the move is that it placed the child out of sight of the driver. A change in daily routine, combined with a lack of sleep or fatigue, common amongst new parents, is often the cause of a child being left alone in a car. When taking a trip that is part of a regular routine, the brain enters an autopilot state, a function designed to get a person from one point to another. When new parents then take this trip with a child on board, the brain can enter its usual autonomous state and awareness of the child is lost. The brain also has the capacity to fill in details and memories, making parents believe that they have dropped their child off at daycare. The biggest mistake that people make is in thinking that this could never happen to them. The Hot Cars Act of 2017 is a heat stroke legislation currently being proposed. It would require car manufacturers to include technology that would notify parents of a child left in the vehicle. However, it may be several years before this bill is passed. In the meantime, there are a number of things that can be done to ensure that safety is maintained. Check the back seat before locking the car and walking away. Leave your phone, briefcase or purse in the back whilst traveling. Alternatively, keep a stuffed toy in the child seat when it is empty. Moving this into the front seat when the child is present can serve as a reminder. If the usual routine is changed and another person is driving, set a reminder to phone and check that the child has arrived safely at daycare. If leaving the vehicle, make sure that it is locked and that keys are out of reach. Nearly a third of heat stroke deaths are the result of an unattended child climbing into a car. If you see a child alone in a vehicle, call the emergency services immediately and try to get the child out of the car. These may seem like common sense, but it may just save a child's life, possibly your own.